So in this question, we're told that Saturn has a radius of 58,000 kilometers, and we make the assumption that it's approximately spherical. Now, technically, it's not, but this is a maths video and it's not about astronomy, so we don't have to deal with that. But we want to calculate the volume of Saturn in scientific notation to three significant figures. So you're given this formula for the volume of a sphere. You get 4/3 pi r cubed, and we're told that the radius is 58,000 kilometers. We want to use the exact value of pi because we have a calculator, so we don't have to use 3.14. But we have to give the answer in scientific notation, so let's write the 58,000 in scientific notation. And the easiest way to do that is to write a 0.0, and we want to count how many times we move it to the left so that the number is less than 10 but it's greater than or equal to 1. So 1, 2, 3 times, and the dot then goes here, but we get 58, so we have to move it again. And if you put it between the 5 and the 8, we get 5.8. It's less than 10, but 5.8 is not less than 1, and it's less than 10, so we use 4 times we've moved the decimal point to the left. So we write that as 5.8 times 10 to the power of 4. And the power of 4, the power on the 10 is the number of times that you've had to move the decimal point to the left. In the case of very small numbers, it's the opposite. You move the decimal point to the right until you get it within the range, and you take the negative of that number, and that becomes the power. But then what we can do is we can use the laws of indices, and we can rewrite this as 5.8 cubed multiplied by 10 to the power of 4 cubed. If you're confused as to what's happening, we're using this rule. So we make n is equal to 3, and we use this rule that I've just highlighted, and this then makes sense. So we're going to then plug in the 4/3 times pi times 5.8 cubed, and we get a value of 828.3234. We then get 10 to the power of 4 cubed, and to do this we use this rule. So make A is 10, B is 4, and C is 3, and we multiply the 4 and the 3 to get 12. And the units, well, we had the radius in kilometers, but we have a volume, so it's cubed. There were two issues with this answer. If you look at the question, and I will move this in a bit. If you want to have a look at the question and the answer and try to figure out what's wrong, pause it if you wish, but I'm going to point both issues out. So, first of all, we have to give it in scientific notation. This looks as if it's in scientific notation, but it's not, because this number must be less than 10 but not less than 1. So we need to move the decimal point back until you get it between 1 and 10. If we move that point twice to the left and we put it between the 8 and the 1, that's 8.1728 and so on. So that's within the range. We've moved it twice to the left. So we've divided it by 100. So we then can add 2 to this power up here of 12. So that. So we've divided this number by 100. So we have to then multiply this by 100 to compensate. It's the same idea as adding 2 to the 12 to get 14. And to 3 significant figures, go 3 digits in and we get 8.17. And this 2 is less than 5. So rounding down, the answer is 8.17. So 8.17 times 10 to the power of 14 kilometers cubed. And we finished. So I hope you found this video useful, and best of luck with studying.